welcome to The Narrowing Path, Walking the Spiritual Walk. My name is Steve Van Eiderstein. Thank you all for joining me today as we go through and read today's reading of March 29th for James Allen's Daily Meditations. I'm looking forward to today's and looking forward to where he continues to take this and wraps this month up, since this is the third to last day of March, so I'm excited about it. This will be fresh to you and fresh to me, meaning you'll get my genuine response, reactions, observations, and what I relate to about the reading, as this will be the first time I read it is on this podcast, so it's always fun. So here we go. March 29th of James Allen's Daily Meditations. If a man would do a noble thing and does not do it, he is not exalted thereby, but debased. The term goodness does not mean sickly sentiment, but inward virtue, the direct result of which is strength and power. Therefore, the good man is not weak. The weak man is not good. We should not judge the souls of others in the spirit of condemnation, but we can judge our own life and conduct by results. There is nothing more certain than this: the evil doer speedily proves that his evil produces misery, and the good man demonstrates that his goodness results in happiness. It is a fact that one may flourish like a green bay tree and yet be unrighteous. But we should also remember that the bay tree at last perishes or is cut down, and such is the fate of the unrighteous. An exalted being apart from an exalted life is inconceivable and cannot be. Wow. I really enjoy that. I like the points he makes in this one. He makes a couple different ones. And what he just opens it up with: if a man would do a noble thing and does not do it, he is not exalted thereby, but debased. If you have the capability to do the right thing and you do not do the right thing, you're not only not improving your character, you're actually degrading your character. This is what he's saying here. It's not, instead of taking the opportunity to positively construct your character, you instead took the opportunity to undermine your character, to degrade your character. Debase means to make lesser value of. So there's no neutral. Every action is either a step in the direction of character growth or character destruction. That's been my personal experience. This path, the spiritual walk, is not a straight path for me. It's winding, and it's I haven't done it perfectly. And I've gone back on some things, and I've gotten better. Eventually I'll come around, but every action determines a direction, and there's no neutral. There's no neutral. The main body of this, when he says that the term goodness does not mean sickly sentiment, like just an association, but inward virtue, the direct result of which is strength and power. That is so true. It's not just the perception of you, like sick sentiment. That's a good thing. Oh, nice. It's your inward virtues. It's when you do the right things even if they don't feel good to do. It's your character, it's your integrity. That's what goodness is. Inward virtue. And the direct result of goodness is strength and power. Right? There's peace, there's strength, there's power, freedom in goodness. Because you know the direction you're going to take, you know the decisions you're going to make, you're going to know all of these things going into it. You do not waver. You make decisions regardless of emotion. And I love this line right here. Therefore, a good man is not weak, but the weak man is not good. Just because you can't do anything bad, or just because you can't harm somebody because you are so weak to do so, does not mean you are a good person. A good person has the capability and the knowing that the individual can choose wrongly or choose selfishly and chooses to do the right thing instead. Virtue is born out of the choice of doing the right thing when fully capable to not have. And that was something I had to make peace with, just because I was weak in a lot of ways for a long time. And I thought that made me a good person, but it didn't. It made me a weak person. I wasn't a good man until I was able to fully make a wrong decision and chose to make the right one. It's a hard thing to admit, but I haven't always been a strong man. It takes some growth and some understanding and some hard lessons. And so that is a great line. Therefore, the good man is not weak. The good man actually is a man of strength and power, and he chooses to use it for good. The weak man is not good. We should not judge the souls of others or in the spirit of condemnation. So we shouldn't be condemning, be negative, or have a damning perception of somebody else. But we can judge our own life and conduct by results. What happens in our life? What do we bring into our life? What effect do we have on our immediate environment and people around us? All right? That we can judge. That we can look at and go, why does this keep happening? Because we bring everything into our life via our intentions, our thoughts, and our actions. We are responsible for all of these things. We've talked about this a bunch. There is nothing more certain than this. The evildoer speedily proves that his evil produces misery. The good man demonstrates that his goodness results in happiness. And this doesn't just mean misery of others. It means misery of self. It does not just mean misery of self. It means misery in others too, right? Like we can harm others fairly quickly and easily. We can cause pain to others, and but we can also be a cause and an instigator of happiness and joy in someone's life, right? We can also be somebody that is a positive influence on the people and environment around us. And fairly quickly, our actions will display which we do. He goes on and he says, it is a fact that one may flourish like a green bay tree. I'm not sure what a green bay tree is. Obviously, a type of tree, and yet be unrighteous. But we should also remember that the bay tree at last perishes or is cut down, and such is the fate of the unrighteous. It's saying some people, by their actions, may seemingly present to be successful. They seemingly might not be getting the repercussions that are justly due to them, but it's a matter of time. It's a false presentation. I don't think people get away with anything. It will always eventually catch up. And I truly believe that. And so when you see somebody that you believe, though we aren't judgmental, but that's flourishing, but still harming others to get that prosperity, it will only be temporary, is what he's saying here. It will only be temporary. So if you're unrighteous, if someone is unrighteous but still flourishes, you should also remember that the bay tree at last perishes. So that's a very good point. Then if you look at this from a point of non-judgment, life will happen to an individual. We need not get involved. The punishment's not ours to dole out. Life will catch up with him. And then he goes ahead and ends it with an exalted being apart from an exalted life is inconceivable and cannot be. That's going back to we will reap the fruit of our labor. We will reap. We will harvest a crop that we have sown. If we are living an exalted life, or if we have an exalted life, we are an exalted person, right? We are an exalted being. An exalted being will always live an exalted life. I believe that. Your life will reflect your quality of character. And it's amazing to me how that can show up. A lot of the times, from my experience, it doesn't show up the way I was expecting it to, but in different ways that are much more fulfilling. So we'll wrap it up there. A great reading for the 29th. I loved that line. The good man is not weak. The weak man is not good. Goodness, virtue can really, truly only come in when you have the choice. And weak men have no choices. They act in desperation and obligation. And it's a pretty important distinction to make. So, thank you all for jumping on with me again today, though. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate the people continuing on with me throughout this whole thing. So, go on over to our Facebook page. Give that a like and a follow if you'd like. And we'll continue on tomorrow with March 30th. Until next time, thanks.